Alright, welcome back to Adobe Photoshop CC. In this tutorial, we're going to basically go over the automated functions for creating static adjustments, basically adjustments that are essentially destructive. They basically cannot be undone once you save the file out. So what I have done here is I've actually taken this image. If I hold Alt or Option on the bottom eyeball here, I took this image here and basically duplicated it 4 times and just shrunk it down on each of these layers. And I've named them Auto Tone, Auto Contrast, Auto Color, and Brightness Contrast. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through these automated features and see the effect of each layer, and essentially each of these will be affected by it. Again, this is a static adjustment. It is a fixed adjustment. Once I apply it, I can't really go back and change things. So typically I don't use these. Typically I use what are called adjustment layers, which we're going to be doing in the future tutorials. But I did want to cover these because these are the sort of fast and sloppy way of doing adjustments if you ever want to, basically just shoot them out really quick. So let's cover these. So auto tone, if we go to image menu here, you'll see these right here: auto tone, auto contrast, auto color. So let's see what happens. I'll click on auto tone. Immediately the image has gotten a lot better. In fact, if we compare these two side by side, the original and this one, you'll see that overall there is a sort of blue sort of color cast that happens to the red of the rocks and so forth. So the auto tone tends to help out that. It provides contrast, but also helps with the color cast a little bit. So let's click on auto contrast and we'll see what that looks like. Go to image and choose auto contrast. And you'll see here basically that it tends to be a little bit warmer overall. And the reason why is this doesn't affect the color. So it's pretty much just the contrast in dark and light. You'll notice the greens are a little bit warmer here, sort of a lime kind of green, versus these are a little bit brighter. So again, these are all like kind of preferential in terms of what you want for the end result. Sometimes you do want to remove the color cast, and that makes it better. Now the auto color, which will be this one here. Let's do that one next. Go to image, choose auto color, and you'll see that there is sort of a blue color cast that has been sort of exaggerated a little bit over the rocks. So typically what this one does is it does the opposite of the color cast that you want. Basically the first one made it warmer, this one kind of made it a little bit cooler. Now the last one, the brightness contrast, which is this one here, we're going to do through image adjustments. Again, these are static adjustments under the image menu. And we're going to choose the also friendly, very easy to use, the brightness contrast adjustment. And basically as you open up, the first thing we're going to do is basically click on this auto button. Now it'll take a few seconds to calculate through. This doesn't happen right away, so just have a little bit of patience and voila. Now what you'll notice, those zero numbers have changed. So we have a brightness of -15 and a contrast of 29. Now before I click OK, I can uncheck the preview to see how it has changed. That's one benefit. And I can also say, hey, you know what? I think it needs more brightness. So I can increase the brightness by just dragging the slider here. Very easy to do. I can put in a numerical number. I can even increase the contrast if I feel like it needs more contrast. I can do the same thing. So pretty handy to be able to do that. And then I can click OK to apply. Before I do this, however, I want to show you just real quick what this legacy is about. If I click on it, it says right here, clip, shadow, highlight, detail. And basically it zeroed out these functions. So what happens is, as I increase brightness, it basically blows out the highlights, and as I decrease it, it blows out the shadows. So you basically lose detail. Now you might be saying, well, why would you use such a thing? Especially the way it looks here, it's very strange and peculiar. Well, you can use this for certain things. Masking is one of those things you can use them for. But typically for the brightness contrast, if you're just adjusting photos, you want to keep this unchecked. So let's go ahead and click that auto one more time. Let it do its thing. And then we'll adjust the sliders. So I'm thinking a little bit more for the contrast, maybe around 38, and definitely want to increase the brightness a little bit. Maybe not quite there, maybe like 20, and then click OK. And there you have it, the 4 automatic adjustments that we have to create the auto tone, auto contrast, auto color, and the brightness contrast. The main thing, the main takeaway from here is that these are static adjustments. They cannot be changed. I can go through the history and basically remove things, but if I was to save this out as a JPEG right now, if I flatten the image, basically that information would go away. So until next time, we'll explore the really powerful adjustments, starting with brightness contrast, in the future in Adobe Photoshop CC. Until next time, cheers.